Welcome, dear listeners, to the Speak and Flow podcast, where we share unique experiences and strategies to help you unleash your leadership voice. I can't wait to dive in today. It's been a while since I've done a solo episode and I've missed it. So today we're going to dive into communication, team communication breakdowns, as well as effective strategies for you to help you maximize your team's potential to get more into flow and synchronicity. Let's start off with an example. Let's take a team, and each member on a team, imagine they all have their unique zone of geniuses, their unique strengths. They know it, they do it well. And yet they miss deadlines. Why does that happen? What is the root cause? It's almost always misunderstanding of priorities, as well as communication misunderstandings. There's a team. Sarah, let's call her. She is focused on the team's technical aspects. She's diving in, getting into all the technical parts. And she assumes that John is getting all the regular client updates. While John is getting all the client updates, she goes to John and says, "Where are the client updates?" And he says, "I got them." And she looks at the data, there's mismatch of data, and suddenly the project has slowed down and they've missed a deadline. Things happen like this all the time. Let's face it, in our complex world, there's change, there's complexity, there's tons of variables. There's going to be misunderstanding. And then your team looks bad, the reputation looks bad, the overall relationships are broken. And so how can we prevent this? Today, I'd like to talk about 3 strategies. The first one being have a robust communication channel. When you are first starting off or brainstorming new ideas within the project, you need to have creativity. Those meetings are best when they're live. I think it's important that you get the team together to develop a bond. There's nothing like being in person together to create a sense of bond, to feel each other's energy, as well as fuel for creativity. Brainstorming together, open ideas, open the channel of new ideas. That's when creativity sparks. So getting together, especially when you need to develop some innovative solutions. Then once you have those, you can meet regularly over Microsoft Teams or Zoom, but have regular meetings in your calendar, as well as if you're a leader, meet with each individual regularly and really understand where they're at and how you can support them. Once you have your communication channel, Slack and Trello are also great too. That's going to help with instant messages. I use Slack with my team. We have different channels for our different projects. And so we can go to each channel and all of the messages for that channel, for that project are organized within Slack. And you can send messages quickly and the other person will receive it quickly. And then once you have these channels created, have transparent communication. Open dialogue. That means every person is truly seen, heard, and valued. When people feel seen, heard, and valued, there's a bond. And when there's a bond, they feel safe. When they feel safe, they're going to want to collaborate. They're going to want to go the extra mile to make things happen. They'll do what it takes. And transparency doesn't mean that you spew out all of your emotions and feelings and escalate the tension. Knowing how to have transparent dialogue means that effective transparent dialogue means that you are direct, you're honest, respectful to each other. You really think through what is it that you want. And you say it calmly and clearly without trying to escalate the tension too much. And then you you listen. You listen for feedback. You actively listen to others as well. So creating that environment where everybody is seen, heard, and valued. That's transparent communication. And that is where you forge bonds. And that's when people will go the extra mile. And finally, you put in empathy. Empathy is one of the most overlooked skills that can be developed. Empathy, because we're always in our head, we're thinking, we're analyzing, we're building, we have structure. Empathy means going into your heart. But to have empathy means you need to have very good self-awareness. Self-awareness is the key to empathy. Self-awareness means understanding our own biases, our own feelings in every interaction, whether you're talking to your manager or a colleague. What is my interaction or my feeling in this? Am I afraid? Am I worried or concerned as I'm talking to this person? And because you can subconsciously project your own emotion into the interaction. And then you've broken the connection. You've broken the empathy because you're in your own emotion and projecting that onto others. Empathy means that you understand the other person's perspective without bringing your own emotion into it. You are fully present for the other person, listening to their perspective and really getting all the details of their perspective, and also their emotion, their feeling. What are their feelings involved without your own assumptions? That means that you have clear self-awareness about where you're at and knowing whether that's that you are breaking or opening up the connection. Using these strategies that we shared today around team communication, having a robust communication channel, having channels that streamline communication so people get regular updates and know exactly where the team's at, having transparent, respectful dialogue, honest dialogue in a way that allows everyone to feel truly seen, heard, and valued, and having empathy, really putting yourself in their shoes, feeling what they're feeling, listening to their perspective while refraining from your own. So having very clear self-awareness about where you're at in it and not projecting them onto others. When you can have this type of communication, you will rise above all obstacles, because doing it together is better than doing it in one. And when you're in sync and in flow with each other, you'll be able to succeed, achieve outcomes, and get to that mountaintop. And I hope that you have some takeaways from this episode. And until I see you next time, continue to speak in flow, connect authentically, and be inspiring. Thanks for joining the conversation today. Are you curious on how you measure up with your ability to speak in flow? Come grab my free self-assessment at https://speakinflow.com/assessment. And I'll see you on the other side.